no face, no case. You feel me? You feel me?
No Face Crypto just dropped another video. We're fucked.
Who the hell is this guy?
Can't see me, but feel my mind. No Face Crypto, phantom protocol. Standing tall while empires fall. Central chains can't cage it all. Unshaken faith.
Welcome back to the No Face Crypto channel. Where's the face of no case? You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, I watched Eyes Wide Shut, and I can't even put into words the rabbit hole I am down right now. Maybe in another video we will discuss in greater detail, but because I cannot put anything into words right now, let's go ahead and just play a few clips that represent how I feel.
Ted Gunderson. Is there a network of these satanic murderers in the country, do you like?
I could say that there is a network of these people across the country who are very active. They have their own rest and relaxation farm. They are in contact with each other, advising loosely to the drug operations. They have their own people who specialize in surveillances and photography and in assassination. Let's talk about the McMartin case.
In today's video, we will not be talking about the McMartin case, which is something I just found out about, and I will be researching heavily after the making of this video. Ladies and gentlemen, education never stops. And I just want the truth. I just want the truth. I think we all just want the truth. I find this to be ironic, but while, in the depths of the dark algorithm that we all live by, essentially, I found a picture. And I would like to share this picture before we move on to talking about crypto fully in this video, guys, because I did not notice this when I took the screenshot on my phone until I just checked this. But I want everybody to understand that in the movie Eyes Wide Shut, there's an 8-point star, right? I pop up a picture of that right here. The 8-point star is a symbolism of Babylon, essentially. Right? The fall of Babylon happened Rome was created, the fall of Rome happened, and so on and so on. And I just found this next picture that I'm about to put up on the screen very, very interesting. Now let's just talk about it here for just a second. All right, let me pull up my phone. I'll make sure we're all looking at the same thing here, right? Babylon became the Roman Empire and it never fell. The masses be like, it's just conspiracy theory. Egypt, 3100 BCE. Persia, 550 BCE. Rome, 27 BCE. And now we have America, 2024 CE. And as you guys know, our 250th year anniversary, or America's 250th year anniversary, is this year. Did you notice anything interesting about this picture, guys? First, I'll say, to me, it's very interesting how everything goes back to an eagle, a phoenix, a bird, something like that. It's a little weird, all right? What's something you notice here? Because you can't even see what it says here, but just because I notice the symbols, guys, I know that this article right here with the phoenix on it is The Economist. Get ready for a new world currency. I believe it came out 89 or 90 or something. I'm not sure. What? Let's zoom in real quick, guys. I was talking to someone about this the other day. I was like, look, I didn't, if the price I have to pay to hold these digital assets is to educate myself on the true history of the world, which at this point is just, you guys can tell I'm at a loss for words, right? I'm going down the rabbit hole actively. You're watching someone do that. It does all wrap back into crypto. And it just keeps increasing my want and need to accumulate more. I'm just, do you guys see the connection there and why I'm completely mind blown at this point? So I'm now brought back to the Economist document. Get ready for a new world currency. And we've talked about it before, but I think it's time to talk about it again. Because I don't know if you've been around the block the last few days, but Jerome Powell has just made an announcement. We'll play that and then we'll pull up The Economist again.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats.
How the puppet is cooked. He's cooked. The Federal Reserve has put us in, all of us, everybody, in financial slavery unless you are a literal elite or you got tons and tons and tons and tons of money. This is the crazy, I feel like I'm living in a paradox right now, guys. I'm watching the Federal Reserve potentially crash. Potentially crash, guys. We know there's nothing backing the dollar. We know that. We know they just print. How many times have I played the Jerome clips? Something big is coming. Something very, very big is coming. Everybody can feel it. And we know there is a possible war about to break out, guys. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, China's about to strike Taiwan, and we have a base in Taiwan. Am I incorrect in that? Trump just came out and saying that, obviously we have bases everywhere, and that is considered property. And if it is to get messed with, yeah, that's war. And so, as far as I've seen, Trump is not playing no fucking games. That's all I've seen. That's just facts. Whether he's controlled or not, that's a different conversation for another time, right? We have a lot of problems in America, but it's clear that there is pressure being put on the Fed right now. On page 3 of Get Ready for a World Currency, guys, this came out January 9th, 1988. The Phoenix Zone would impose tight constraints on national governments. There would be no such thing, for instance, as a national monetary policy. The World Phoenix supply would be fixed by a new central bank. Keep in mind, guys, Ripple, they got that banking license. That's all I'm saying here. Descended perhaps from the IMF. You think the IMF didn't have a say if Ripple gets a bank license? Come on. I'm just saying. The world inflation rate, and hence with narrow margins, each national inflation rate would be in its charge. Each country could use taxes and public spending to offset temporary falls in demand, but would have to borrow rather than print money to finance and budget deficit. Ladies and gentlemen, who's printing all the money? The Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell at this very second. So, oh my, this is just getting crazy, guys. This means a big loss of economic sovereignty. And as we know, we are seeing the Clarity Act, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. The Clarity Act is about to pass through. In that Clarity Act, they are sneaking in things that will make KYC, like you will have to KYC in order to earn yield on your digital assets. We're not getting this shit without a cost, guys. We're not. All right. This means a big loss of economic sovereignty, but the trends that make the Phoenix so appealing are taking that sovereignty away in any case. Even in a world of more or less floating exchange rates, individual governments have seen their policy independence checked by an unfriendly outside world. There are going to be people who win regardless, guys. And I'd rather be like half screwed over by the system than completely screwed over by the system. XRP is the Phoenix. Ripple, they are the new central bank. And if we have to go look into the IMF for just another second to show you guys this, it's just the truth, right? The global elite in the UK that fucking fucked all this shit. These people burnt the fucking White House down, all right, have approved Ripple. Here's a document showing this is the presentation that Ripple gave to the IMF. I want you guys to notice something again that is just, it's like, is the Matrix just playing with me here, guys? I'm showing, like, people think you go crazy, but then there's something like this. This presentation clearly happened on November 13th, 2018. So why does it say November 13th, 3018? A year that hasn't even happened yet. But not only that, you guys all know about the 1,000-year conspiracy that they added or at least took away from history. I don't know. We're not going to talk about that now. Why does it say November 13th, 3018? There's another 33. Get the fuck out of here, guys. Come on. All right. This was the entire presentation, 30 pages, right to the IMF, guys. They're working with the IMF. I'm not even going to, this is all you need to see. A snapshot of our customers, guys. Bank of America, Santander, CIBC, Axis, SBI Group. You see SBI Group right there. And a consortium of 60 plus Japanese banks. Emphasis on Japan as we have the reverse carry trade possibly about to unwind here, guys. Do you think this shit is a joke? Come on, man. All right, just so you guys don't, I know I'm a little crazy, but just so you guys don't think I'm full batshit schizophrenic insane, guys. Here's some real news. All right, BNY Mellon moves its tokenized cash with Ripple. $50 trillion asset manager BNY Mellon has launched its tokenized deposits for institutions, with Ripple Prime, formerly Hidden Road, as an early adopter. And, obviously we can go ahead and back this up. But you guys know Ripple, BNY Mellon is like 240 years old. It's like one of the oldest banking institutions in the country, in the world. And they chose Ripple. And Ripple actually keeps their RUSD reserves with BNY Mellon. That is a fact. Chairman Tim Scott is moving forward on digital asset market structure legislation, delivering clear rules that protect Main Street. You fucking... Keep innovation here at home and safeguard U.S. national security. And I'll just let you guys know, the second they say something is for national security, you could say goodbye to your freedom. I don't want to be a doomer, but it's just the truth. Historically, that's what happens. All right, this legislation is about making America the crypto capital of the world. So the next generation of jobs and innovation is built here, not overseas. When we set clear rules, we give entrepreneurs the confidence to start companies, hire workers, and grow right here in the United States. We also make it hard for criminals and foreign adversaries to use new technology to rip off Americans or undermine our financial system. After months of serious bipartisan work, it's time to move this forward and deliver real results for the American people. And I very, very, very much hope we get some good results. I hope we at least get an increase in some of these utility assets. But I need to keep you guys aware, with the Clarity Act, there are some things in there you need to look out for, and let's just go ahead and discuss those very quickly. All right, now we're not going to go ahead and read this entire thing right here on the channel. I will, for my personal enjoyment at some point, but we need to look at definitions here, and what we're going to look for is DeFi specifically, because let's say you hold your utility assets you've bought, right, and these things go to $1 trillion. You're not really going to want to sell all of them, I'm assuming. You're going to want to use those to create more income for you in the future, whether that income is the form of rewards or more crypto or anything, right? And that is possible with DeFi. But what do they define DeFi as? Or what do they define decentralized exchanges as? Because that's what crypto was designed to be. And right here, we can literally see this is section 101.24a. In general, the term decentralized governance system means with respect to a blockchain system, any transparent rules-based system permitting persons to form consensus or reach agreement in the development, provision, publication, maintenance, or administration of such blockchain system. Oh my gosh, where participation is not limited to or under effective control of any persons or group of persons under common control. They are literally saying, right, it's as simple as going on to a decentralized exchange and just trying to buy something off of it. That is what they are defining DeFi, decentralized finance, decentralized governance system as. This is a broad, very extremely broad term to say anything that is not a regular central bank, essentially you're going to need a KYC for. Now, we also have to find a definition for KYC. You look up KYC, you look up identity, digital ID. Obviously, they're not going to put those words straight in here like this, but right here, under regulations, D, maintain an effective customer identification program to identify and verify account holders and carry out appropriate customer due diligence. Now, account holders of what, right? Well, we just saw the definitions for decentralized governance systems, and these central exchanges are already involved. Here, compliance with sanctions. Section 2, a digital commodity broker, digital commodity dealer, or digital commodity exchange shall comply with all laws and regulations related to United States sanctions administered by Office of Foreign Asset Control. So there goes DeFi, right there. And that's not to say we won't be able to take part. We will. But they will have to know your identity. And this is how, brings me on to my next point where, how do you get around this? How do you get around this, guys? Now, there are a few things I need to say here in preparedness for what is going to come, I presume. One thing is I can recommend to each and every one of you that are in a location that allows it is to invest in, let's just say, self-defense mechanisms. That is, I think, one of the best assets to have nowadays. In addition to this, we have your digital assets, guys, and what you need to be doing is keeping them on cold storage and off of centralized exchanges. Now, we might try and run from the centralized exchanges, and they might try and go to the decentralized exchanges, and that's okay. They're going to do whatever they got to do to try and keep us losing, basically. Now, this brings me to my next point. Caleb and Brown, your personal one-on-one crypto brokerage. These people are centered in Australia, but they are worldwide, essentially. And they will give you one-on-one personalized broker. No fees, I believe, no buying or selling fees, maybe very low. And the account to open is completely free. The way they get their money is essentially they have 100 different ways to source trades in the crypto market. And so they will make, they have their price, but they will buy at a cheaper price, essentially, over the counter somewhere. There's a lot of information on them out there. I suggest you guys go ahead and look at it. I believe I have a link in my description. I don't think that link is active for me anymore, so I'm not sure. But go ahead and just check out their website itself. And in addition, you get the personal account, but brings me to my next point. They have a business account. Now, when we get into the digital ID era, guys, all I can say is right now, one of the best and only ways to hide your identity is with a trust or with an LLC. And all I can say is Caleb and Brown has LLCs accounts available, essentially. You can do that with a business account. So that will keep your identity pretty much hidden from, the people. If there's any type of defense to play right now, I believe that is it. Right? And all I can tell you guys is maybe at a certain amount is when I will go ahead and move forward with a digital asset LLC. I don't think I'm there yet personally, but many of you guys might be there. And it might be a good idea to consider looking into that. Now, I have a resource where I can get this done very cheap. It is not my resource, and therefore I do not feel really comfortable promoting it or sharing it to you guys. But I have said it before, right? To go ahead and just look at Digital Outlook's channel on YouTube, and that is all I will say. We are going into some very interesting times. And I do truly think the best thing you guys can do for yourself is insulate, right? Put a bunch of security measures behind your cold storage. Get your Zaman wallets, get your, choose your decentralized exchanges if you want to be going to them. But there's a resource like Caleb and Brown where you can just call up your dude and be like, yo, I want to buy this right now. And they'll do it. Now, Caleb and Brown might have some DeFi opportunities at some point. I'm hoping one day we get to a point where we can engage in DeFi with business documents and not have to divulge our identity. Right now, we have the opportunity to not need to throw our identity everywhere for any of this. So it's a great time to be learning. And that is why I'm so constant on the fact that even if you guys don't have tons of money you want to be throwing into DeFi and you should be experimenting and you should have transactions under your belt. You should know what's going on and what is happening before shit pops off. Because when it pops off, you're going to have to make decisions. And so I think knowing that Flare is building an account on Zaman for you is a good thing to just know when shit pops off. I think it's a good thing to know. All right. A lot of rambling in this video, but I do apologize. I had to get this one off. I had a lot to say. I hope this has kind of implanted some ideas into you guys' brain and makes you guys understand like the direction I believe we are going in. With that being said, I'm finna get out of here for the video. I got some things to do. I have a meeting or a call to sit in to listen about digital asset LLCs actually today. So I will be doing that. And I will let you guys know some stuff that I learned. I will be asking some questions. Obviously, I have some questions after making this video. Yeah. You feel me?
I'm the cipher inside the system, encrypted rhythm, algorithmic wisdom. Bankers panic when I twist the prism, cause I decentralize the mechanism. Ledger lock, my code immaculate. Truth so sharp it decapitates. No fiat faith, lie emancipate. XRP flow, recalibrate. Invisible king with a digital throne. Phantom of finance, flesh and bone. I rise from day to self-made, self-known. Unshaken, I move in the zone. They manipulate, I meditate. They inflate, I innovate. They speculate, I educate. I'm the glitch they can't eliminate. Raw as crypto, masked in motion, riding the wave like quantum motion. XRP devotion, pure explosion. Phantom of finance, fully raw as crypto. Chain reaction, breaking control, pure satisfaction. No middleman, just interaction. Rebel of rhythm, blockchain faction. From Tokyo ticks to London trades. My name echoes in crypto raids. I'm the anomaly markets crave. Silhouetted in code, I misbehave. Monetary matrix, I override. Quantum ink where the truth can't hide. They kneel to debt, I walk with pride. No face crypto, decentralized guide. Every drop of fun, I distill the flame. Every smear campaign fuels the game. They'll remember the ghost, not the name. Cause legends don't chase, they claim. Go, ledger ignite. Phantom in flight. Max so bright. Can't see me, but feel my mind. No face crypto, phantom protocol. Standing tall while empires fall. Central chains can't cage it all. Unshaken faith, I break the wall. No face crypto, though immortal. Through digital doors, I breach the portal. Untraceable force, transtemporal. Phantom of finance, suiting and racks. No face crypto. No banks, no borders, no masters. Just vision and velocity. The world's asleep, but the phantom never rests street.